Fleet ready! Set sail! Leaving the army! Disembark! Imperator! Forward! Ready to sail! Aye, aye, Captain! Out of move, sir! Aye, aye, Captain! Aye, Captain! Aye, Captain! Aye, Captain. Ready to sail! Yes, Captain! Out of move, sir! Aye, Captain. Aye, aye, Captain! Imperator. Sir! General! March! Moves depleted, sir! Forward!
searching for clues.
Prepare for battle! The auspices have been taken, and gods be praised, nothing can be found to deny us victory today. With such portents, we need only march upon the enemy. Do not fear these Britons. Their faces may be painted blue, but their red guts spill as easily as those of other men. They have been led here by strutting fools and blustering morons. Now they will pay the price. I have fought these men many times, and even now they must be praying to their false gods for mercy. They will have little enough of it from me. I have won many great victories for Rome. Be strong in that truth, and let this be one more. March on, and know that our victory is assured as long as we live and die like true Romans. Await my orders! Units!
Mercenaries!
Halt! Infantry! First three lines! Units! March! Move! Velites! Move!
Hastati!
Move out! Move out! Cavalry! First three lines! Missile troops! First three lines! Units! Attack! under attack! Units, fall! Get under attack! Units, ready! Fire!
Make ready!
Units! Units, move out!
Take down!
Units! Forward! Units! Attack!
Make ready!
The enemy show their true virtue. They are not soldiers, only frightened rabbits running from our men. This is a heroic victory, worthy of Roman arms!
Victory! Sir! March! Imperator! Onward! Build tower! Onward! Fleet ready! Fleet ready! Fleet ready!
Orders? Sir! Imperator? Orders? Orders? Sir! General! Onward! General! Onward! Out of move, sir!
At your service. On my way. Moves depleted, sir.
Sir! Imperator! Imperator!
Noble master? I shall speak with him at once. Noble master? Your honor. Out of moves.
General! Orders? Imperator! Imperator!
Sir.
Imperator!
General!
Sir!
Move out!
Imperator! Sir! Orders! Orders! Imperator! Move out! Aye, Captain.
Sir! Out of move, sir. Imperator!
Aye, aye, Captain. No more moves, sir.
Awaiting your command.
Imperator! Move out! No more moves, sir! Imperator! Orders! Imperator! Sir! Orders! 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 Sir! Orders! Orders! Attack! Victory! Engage the enemy! Victory! Moves depleted, sir! Imperator! Orders! Moves depleted, sir! Imperator, march!
Aye, Captain.
Aye, aye, Captain!
Moves depleted, sir!
General! Sir!
Aye, Captain. Fleet ready!
Fleet ready! Fleet ready! Aye, aye, Captain!
Disembark! Sir! Prepare for battle! Friends, Romans, countrymen, today is a day for brave deeds. Today is a proud day to be Roman. We are facing the blue-painted, barking mad Britons today. They may look odd, but they are more than fearsome, and we can expect no mercy. They stand alone. No friend has come to this place to die for them. Does this not say something about their honor? They're standing among nations. They have been brought to the battlefield by mewling infants instead of leaders. We have a slight advantage in numbers, but no lives can be thrown away today. We cannot afford such profligacy. They will undoubtedly skulk in the woods and hope to ambush some of us. Many times I have faced these people, and still they are too stupid to learn their lesson. Today, men will die to teach them afresh that they should simply run away. I want to see blood. I want to bathe in their blood. I want to bathe in their blood for a week. Now, kill them all!
Await my orders! Units! Units! March! Units! March! Auxilia! Halt! Units! Forward!
Units, forward!
Ready? Praetorian cohort.
Pop flags.
Urban cohort. Attack! Quickly!
Units, march!
Orders complete! Move!
Units, move out!
March!
They're attacking us!
Fire!
Units, move out!
Ready!
They're attacking us!
They're attacking us!
Rome's finest!
Units, move out!
Fire! Quickly! March! Urban cohort!
Units, forward!
Fire! 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 Forward! Fire!
Units march! Move! Move! Urban cohort!
Units! Form testudo!
Fire!
They're attacking
Fire!
us!
Units march!
We're under attack! Units! March! Units! Attack!
Ready! Fire! Fire! Ready! Aim!
They're attacking us!
Units march! Auxilia! Fire! Fire! Fire!
Cavalry! First line!
Units, fall!
Infantry! First line! Unit! Unit! Move! Double time!
Units, march! Archer! Archer! Archers!
Units! Fire at will!
Units, march! Fire! Urban cohort!
Units! Attack!
Aye!
Ready! Aim! Fire!
Units, fall to the hill! Ready! Aim! Archer! Auxilia! Urban cohort!
Units! Stop! We're being attacked! They're attacking us!
Fire!
Units!
Move out!
Forward! Infantry! First three lines! Units! Forward!
Units, fall!
Ready? Fire! Fire!
Units, move out!
Fire! Fire! Fire!
Units, move out!
Urban cohort! Units! Attack! Units! Charge! Formation! Charge!
We're under attack! Units, march!
Fire! Urban cohort!
The gods have filled the heart of the enemy general with fear. Now he flees the field like a coward. The gods be praised! The enemy general is dead! His men know their doom approaches!
Fire! Ready? Aim! Fire! Units! Forward! Units! Attack!
Move out!
Units! Charge! Fire!
Forward!
Units! Attack! Units! Charge!
The enemy army is in flight! Pursue them! And Rome demands victory from her generals! And this day is clearly our victory!
Victory!
The Bruttii are the Green Roman faction in Rome Total War, controlling the southern section of the Italian peninsula. They start with 2 core provinces on the mainland of Italy, Tarentum, their capital, and Croton, their infuriatingly rebellious city in the south. Tarentum begins the game with an income of 413 denarii per turn and a sizable 4,500 population with 3.5% population growth. With a high public order of 140%, you are able to raise tax rates immediately at the start of the game without happiness dipping below 100%. In the settlement details screen, Tarentum has a base farming growth level of 4.5%, and further inspection into the trade screen shows that the capital city exports copper and timber while importing silver from Croton, grain from Syracuse, wine from Capua, and pottery from Ariminum. Croton, on the other hand, begins with a much smaller income of only 24 denarii, a still substantial population of 4,300, and a population growth of 3%. The public order of 120% means that unless you are willing to let public order drop below 100%, raising the tax rate is out of the question right off the bat. Croton has a base farming growth level of 4%, slightly less than Tarentum, and the unrest in the city is the only thing bringing public order down besides the ever-annoying squalor. Croton, unlike Tarentum, does not have a port, and therefore does not have any sea imports and exports. The region does have silver mines, however, and exports this good while importing wine from Capua and copper and timber from Tarentum. Shifting gears to the military, the Bruttii start with 4 armies. The northernmost army is led by Aulus Brutus, the faction heir. The Eastern Army, led by family member Aemilius Brutus, is the only other force not based in a city. In the capital Tarentum is family member Vivius Brutus's garrison, and finally, in the southern city of Croton is the army led by the Bruttii faction's leader, Tiberius Brutus. There is 1 fleet at the beginning of the game as well, positioned right next to Tarentum port, that contains a small force of 3 bireme ships. The Bruttii also start with 1 spy, the expertly skilled Luca Antonius, and 1 diplomat, the very influential Caius Flaminius. You will begin the game allied to the other Roman factions, the Julii Scipii, and the Senate or SBQR, with your only enemy being the rebels. At the very start of a Bruttii campaign, you will receive the Senate mission to take the rebel settlement of Apollonia. Apollonia is located across the sea right here, so clearly the game is trying to point you towards the east as the main focus of your campaign. The east is filled with 2 major civilizations, the Greeks and the Macedonians. These will be your primary enemies in a Bruttii campaign, and truthfully are pretty tough to defeat, especially on hard and very hard difficulties. Both nations sport immense armies filled with phalanx pikemen, good cavalry, and pretty good archers, and they have cities that already start with full walls at the beginning of the game, as you can see here in Corinth and Athens. Once you're able to conquer this Greek peninsula and push the Macedonians north in a campaign, however, you can move even further east, towards the town of Pergamum and the other settlements into the Far East and Asia Minor. Despite the East being the main focus of any Bruttii campaign, you can also expand to the south and to the west towards North Africa and the lands of Carthage, while passing through Sicily on the way. Your first step in an expansion into this theater of war will be the cities of Syracuse and Libyum on the island of Sicily. If you're able to enter this region before the Scipii are able to take these cities, you can effectively cut them off from expanding into Africa for most of the game. After taking these cities on the island of Sicily, you can then go after Carthage and Thapsus to really push the Carthaginian Empire off the map and deal a tough blow to them before they're able to get to the late game armored elephants and other really highly skilled military units. Whether fighting in Europe and Greece or in North Africa, the Bruttii offer many roads to success in this game. And from this small starting position with 2 cities on the southern tip of Italy, the Bruttii are ready to start their quest for power and glory. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, favorite it, or subscribe to my channel. As always, I hope to see you all next time.
Hey folks, welcome back to Biscuits Total War, and today's episode is my first ever top 10 for Rome Total War. Now, as I'm sure you guys know, that my channel is pretty much dedicated to Rome Total War, and this is going to be my first ever attempt on doing a top 10 for the units of Rome Total War. In today's episode, I'm just going to focus primarily on infantry units, and to make this top 10, to get into a chronological order, I've had to take a few things into account. The cost of the unit, the stats of the unit, the special ability of the unit, and the all-around durability, and if that is a decent unit to use online for Rome Total War. Now, I'm sure you guys will have a different opinion to my own list. If it's slightly different, leave a little comment. I'd love to know what you think. If you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm right, if you think I'm close, leave a little comment and we'll get the ball rolling, okay? Okay, in the 10th position, we have the Legionary Cohort. Now, this is going to sound a bit odd for people who might think, why the Legionary Cohort? Well, if you take into account the cost of this unit, I think it's something like 720 denarii, and take into account the actual stats that you get, the attack, the defense, the charge, plus the ability to go into Testudo and the ability to throw Peeler, it is an extremely cost-effective unit. Yes, urban cohorts will be able to beat it. Yes, chosen axemen will be able to beat it. But this unit is an all-rounder at the end of the day, and it's dirt cheap. For what you get, it's one of the most cost-effective units that you can get. In fact, a little fun fact, a lot of the Primarian units that you can get in Rome Total War tend to be some of the most cost-effective units. But of course, if you're playing online, more than likely you'd never bring the Primarian builds, because more than likely your Primarian units would be absolutely devastated by the AI whoever you play. So in conclusion, in number 10 we have the Legionary Cohort. And of course, I can't mention the Legionary Cohort without mentioning some other Legionary Cohorts. You have the Silver Shield Legionary Cohort, fielded by the Seleucids. You also have the Numidians, they have their own version. The Armenians have their version, but this is the most cost effective. This is the strongest unit of all those Legionary Cohorts. So number 10, Legionary Legionary Cohort. Get my words out correctly there. And in 9th position, in number 9 slot, we have the Berserker. Now, the Berserker arguably is the strongest unit that the Germans can field. But the reason why it's so low in the top 10 is because it's so expensive, this unit. And unlike other units on, say, Barbarian Invasion, who have this Berserker mode, once you click on attack, that's pretty much it. You cannot control this unit. This unit will just basically go and run around the battlefield on its own, attacking the enemy wherever they can see it. This can be a good thing, this can be a bad thing, but what can happen is that these units can be activated by either the enemy charging into them or arrows shooting them. So it becomes a very risky unit to use, but when used correctly, they can be absolutely superb. So yeah, number 9 we're going to have the Berserker unit at the end of the day, and you'll see just how devastating they can be. Once they go into Berserk mode, there's very little that most units can do against them. They will absolutely decimate any army that comes into close proximity, but as I say, once they've done what they need to do, you cannot control them. They can run around the battlefield, and they are very vulnerable against arrow fire. So in number 9 we have the Berserker. In 8th position we have the Silver Shield Pikeman. Now the Silver Shield Pikeman is one of the best of the worst kind of pike units that you can get. They're fielded by the Seleucids, and if you look at the stats, they're pretty much exactly the same as the Bronze Shield Pikemen that the Pontus actually field. Now these guys are great. They've got really long shields. Their vulnerability though is against arrow fire and Peeler, but they are great for defense. You put one of these units in a gold, arguably they can go toe to toe with a Spartan, especially if the Spartans aren't highly upgraded, and that's what makes them a really good cost effective pike unit. They're better than your standard phalanxmen. Now you might be asking, why are these units better than the bronze shield pikemen that Pontus have? Because they're practically exactly the same stats. The reason why I've put the silver shield pikemen in this position below the bronze shield pikemen is for a couple of reasons. The bronze shield pikemen are just very slightly cheaper. Secondly, if you use the silver shield pikemen in the desert, they will actually tire slightly quicker than the bronze shield pikemen. The bronze shield pikemen do get a slight bonus fighting in the desert, and they do lose a bit of an attack when fighting in the snow. But at the end of the day, most likely you're going to be fighting a normal river terrain, probably the grassy flatlands, and thus making the silver shield pikemen just slightly lesser than the bronze shield pikemen, because the bronze shield pikemen are just that slightly bit cheaper, so therefore making them more cost effective, and that's why this unit is in number 8 in my top 10 of Rome Total War infantry units. In number 7 position we have the bronze shield pikemen. So I briefly mentioned them in the last part when I was talking about the silver shield pikemen. They are practically the same as the Seleucid silver shield pikemen, but they're slightly cheaper, and if you use these guys in the desert, they're going to get a slight bit of an advantage. Also, they tire less than the Seleucid silver shield pikemen in the desert, but unfortunately if you use these guys in the snow, they will actually have a bit of a hindrance. So at the end of the day, these guys are pretty much the same as the silver shield pikemen, but they're slightly cheaper, and I reckon their stats, thus fighting in certain terrains, make them a bit more impressive than the standard silver shield pikemen that the Seleucids can field. These guys are really cost effective, and again, just like the silver shield pikemen, they can go toe to toe with other decent pikes, dependent on how the upgrades are, and of course they can go toe to toe if needs be with many infantry units such as the legionary cohort, and secondly also they're great against potentially fighting Spartans, because these guys have got really long spears, thus they can actually attack and kill the opposition before the opposition get close to the Pontus infantry unit. So all in all, number 7 goes